Hello.
Hi,
What's your name?
my name is Matthew Kleiman, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Cumulus Digital Systems.
Okay. Now you in Web Summit. About what you are speaking here.
So I talked about the challenges that startups have deploying technology at industrial sites. It's very different and in many ways more challenging than deploying a technology in a home or an office setting. So I spoke about some of the common challenges that prevent successful deployments and what our company does to overcome those challenges and make our deployments successful so that hopefully other startups can learn from our experience.
Maybe you already know some good startups here, or you know what is startups will be creating soon, and you like with startups.
Yeah, so I think there's lots of fantastic startups here at all stages of development, from brand new, a couple of young men and women starting out of school, to people who've done startups many times before and that are much more mature companies. And everybody can learn, and it's always interesting walking around the floor of Web Summit and just seeing what everybody's working on.
What field of startups do you like more?
There's what I know best are startups that serve industrial customers. I've been doing that for 10 years in different capacities, so that's what I am most familiar with. So I have the most to offer them in terms of my advice and my experience. But I think there are a whole lot of challenges in the world that are being solved by startups every day, and a lot of them just have challenges, whether it's scaling or funding. And as long as we as a community can help them, you don't know what's going to come out and be the next great company that's going to solve a challenge. I'm really interested in healthcare. I think that's a major challenge for the world. So a lot of the genetics research that's going on. I think a lot that we see with quantum computing and other computing technologies is going to be really interesting.
Yeah, I think it's computer technology will be this year and our year and maybe 10 years because it's all creating computers.
We don't even know, sitting here in 2019, what the world will look like in 10 years. But that world, the seeds of that are being planted at places like this today with the companies that are just trying to get off the ground.
And what you understand, from what countries most startups here? From Europe, from maybe United States or others?
There are a lot of startups from Europe. Being located in Europe, it's easiest for them to come, but so many from Europe, whether it's Germany, the UK, Netherlands, met companies from Kazakhstan, from Russia. But then I've met companies from different parts of Africa, from Asia, from the United States and Canada, of course, from South America. You really see companies from everywhere, but more in Europe, just like in other conferences in other parts of the world. It's easier for startups to get to. But the diversity is really exciting.
It's your first time in Web Summit? Or
yes, it's my first time at Web Summit. Yep.
And how do you feel you will be the next year here?
I will absolutely, as long as there isn't a major conflict with my schedule, I will certainly be coming next year. Hope to continue engaging with people that I've met along the way, and to just build a network that both for my company and it helps me grow as a person myself.
Yes. I'm thinking that if you are studying, if you are going like different conferences, you are growing, you can meet people from different countries, you can be a partners, you can find investors, you can create a new idea, for example. Maybe for you looking for startups and you see, oh yes, maybe I do like this in my company.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had some great conversations with other founders where we've talked about the challenges that we're having, and we exchanged ideas. Just today, I was talking to somebody. We're looking to hire an employee in Europe, one of our first employees in Europe, and was asking them about how they've done that to get around to deal with some of the legal challenges that you have doing that. And he gave me some great advice that I'm going to take back to my team and use. And even though it's a little thing, but every little thing adds up.
Yes.
You know, it's easy at conference. We get, as startup founders and CEOs, we get invited to a lot of conferences, and you could spend your entire year going from conference to conference. So
Yes, yes.
you have to be selective, and the value of this conference that I see is the presence of peers, other founders who I could learn from, and that's the most valuable thing for me.
Nice. And how do you feel what's the difference between the conference in, for example, United States, because you come from United States, and the Europe? A lot of difference, or maybe United States more creative, more good startups, more good fields, because a lot of coming from United States in marketing, in, for example, Silicon Valley, different things.
At the conferences, to be honest, I don't see that much of a difference. I think as a conference here will have more European startups. A conference in the United States will have more American startups, just because of proximity. But there are just as many creative companies in Europe as in the United States, and vice versa. I don't think either region has the monopoly on creativity. I think the United States has more experience and regulations that are conducive to make it easy to start a company, easy to get funding. Europe traditionally has been a more difficult place to do that, but that's changing. That's very much in the process of changing. Even just a few years ago, there were many more venture capitalists in Europe than you saw a few years ago. I think it's still a little bit harder than in the United States, and you still hear people in Europe going to the United States to get funding.
Yes.
So you certainly see that, but it's changing. I've met, and here I had a couple of meetings with venture capital firms based in Russia, and you would not have seen that a few years ago. And so it's really all over. It's really become a global community.
Yeah. And you want to be in Russian, for example, part of your company, or for example, maybe you want to create a new office in Russia. What do you feel about this?
So Russia, for us, since we are serving industrial customers and helping industrial facilities be safer, Russia certainly has a huge amount of industry that would be an excellent customer of ours. When we look at going to Russia, we think about the regulations and the legal environment, and that's something we have to become comfortable with. We have to make sure that we can operate well there and fairly, and have Russian legal counsel that can help us do that. And then, of course, we want to make sure the language barrier that we could operate in Russia, and our software is translated into Russian so that Russian workers could use it easily. But that's almost any country we go into, we have to think about those things: the regulatory environment and how workers will respond and be able to use our software. But Russia there's a huge opportunity for us, and we think we could bring a lot of value to Russian industry.
Nice. And maybe you can help some companies from Russia who want to be part of, who want to start some of projects similar like you. Maybe you can help in some advices or some recommendation.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd be happy to do that and to provide whatever advice we can. Also, we're always open to partnerships if companies can provide services that add value to our own. That whether that's for use in Russia or use with our customers in other parts of the world, absolutely.
Okay,
yeah.
That's why I give you contacts after this interview.
Okay, sure.
In the YouTube channel.
Sure.
That's why maybe some people write you and ask help. Maybe you can help
Happy
and
to
create our market, your market will be more.
Absolutely, happy to help with that.
Yeah, it's nice. Thank you for the interview. Thank you
for
you coming here to speaking with me.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you. Good day.
Good day to you too. Thanks.